set up the rest of the point.
Semi-finals. So it's Agassi at Federer live for you from the Indie World Tennis Garden. Mark Petchy, as I've mentioned, still here with me in the studio. Petch, this could be quite a corker.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? And this is perhaps something that we haven't had the luxury of over the last couple of years, getting these guys to the deep into the tournament, because it has got so strong in men's tennis. But this one is with Federer and Agassi right now, and you know, they played pretty not that long ago, and you know, definitely Federer right now I feel as though is comfortable playing Agassi, whereas maybe 14 months ago or so he didn't feel that good about it.
Well, certainly the last two times they met was in November, the Masters Series finals. Masters Cup, Roger Federer winning 7-6 in the third. The first time he'd ever beaten Andre Agassi. It was a breakthrough moment for Federer, and here's what he had to say after.
I was really trying everything to come back in the match after losing that first set tiebreaker, and in the end, you know, by saving 2 match points, kind of forget that I actually served for the match, which is good. And yeah, it's my first time I beat Andre, and it's definitely something special.
That victory was in the round-robin stage of the Masters Cup. This was in the final. Federer even more impressive. Best of 5 sets, didn't drop a set. 3 love and 4 for Federer. The last time that Peter Lundgren could celebrate as Federer's coach, he was sacked shortly afterwards. The fireworks exploding over the court as Federer finished the year on a high, and as then the world #2. How important, Petch, were those victories at the end of last year for Federer, just to really know that he could mix it with Agassi and beat him?
Well, it's exactly what he said. He said that up until that point, he felt as though he wasn't in the same league as Agassi, and I think that it was a huge psychological boost for him. I think that's always been really what Federer's about at this moment. It's not about the tennis. We've always known he's had the tennis since he was an outstanding junior. The reality is, it's like mentally, what sort of place was he in when he went into slams? He didn't feel that comfortable. And then obviously winning Wimbledon last year, that was a huge hurdle for him. And there's certain players on the tour as you go through that you always sort of butt heads against, and you don't get through straight away. You get off to a bad start. Sometimes, as we talked about before, Gilbert against Lendl had a shocking record the whole way through. You know, but Federer is too good a player, and at some stage it was going to come good for him, but it was a cracking match to get through that one. I don't think the final would have been as easy had Federer not had that win in the round-robin group.
What will Agassi have to execute on, well, particularly well tonight, to get past Federer and into the final?
He's got to keep him moving. I think that's the key thing. Agassi really has to, as we've always talked about, control the tee. The man in your picture here, right now, has got so many options at his disposal, and he's executing on those perfectly. And if things aren't working well, he does have that ability to change up a game style, and I think that's where Agassi really needs to get off to a good start tonight, to try and put some doubts into Federer's mind. Sort of confidence that the Swiss man feels at the moment is almost given him 3 or 4 games a set against some of the lower-ranked guys. Might not get that luxury against Agassi, but certainly Agassi has to play as close to the baseline as he possibly can.
We've both said that Federer, I think, for us, have been playing the best tennis of this year's Championships in Indian Wells, but he hasn't had this type of matchup so far. He hasn't played the calibre of Andre Agassi, so he will have to be on his mettle right from the start.
Yeah, in some ways it's probably better for Agassi coming into this, because he had a tough match against Correa, somebody that always makes you work, gives you a good gauge for where your game's at coming in, whereas Federer has been so comfortable getting to this stage that he probably feels as though he's not 100% sure where he's going. He obviously feels comfortable, but the reality is it is going to be difficult, because also the weight of shot from Andre Agassi is something different for Federer.
OK, thanks a moment. Let's hear the thoughts of both players now as they look ahead to this match and hear their thoughts on each other. Here's Andre on Roger.
Well, Roger's been playing some great tennis this year, so I'll have to go out there and just, you know, let my game fly and hope for the best. You know, it's you know, he does a lot of things well, and he'll force me to play a great match, which is why I still get out here and do this. We still have good matches against each other, and I mean, we played in Kooyong at an exhibition, but obviously that's not the same. But already there, I thought, you know, he was playing great tennis, and you know, to play him here, it's obviously very difficult, because in America on this kind of surface, you know, he's probably one of the best, and this is why, if you want to beat him, you gotta be at your best.
Both men clearly looking forward to this contest, Petch. As Agassi says, this is what he still plays the game for. This is the challenge that he wants, and for me, the eyes of Agassi told that they were alive with the prospect of facing the world's best.
Yeah, Getting through to this stage in the tournament is almost, you know, it's almost boring for Agassi. This is what he plays, as he says, this is what he wants to do. This is what he wants to, you know, play the game for, as we see Federer's girlfriend there, as ever, unlike Lundgren, able to support her man here. And, yeah, I mean, it's exciting for Agassi to still match up his game. Again, I guess we're always talking about retirement for Agassi, you know, what's he thinking? And while he's going out there and really feels as though he can beat the best in the world, he's going to continue to play this game for as long as he can.
Absolutely. A winner, please.
No.
I know it's difficult,
you
but
can't
give me one.
I said Federer's the favourite going into it, so okay. I would say that he is the favourite.
OK, all right, thanks, Petch.
I'm not saying that he's definitely going to be the winner.
A packed house, as you'd expect, for the first semi-final of the opening Masters series of the year. Roger Federer, world #1, against the #5 seed Andre Agassi. To follow this one, in case you didn't know, Tim Henman against Rockley Labadze. Let's hand you over to our commentators for this opening semi-final. Peter Fleming is alongside Bill Threlfall.
Well, thanks a lot. What a wonderful scene that is. Wonderful weather, as it has been all week.
Seats quickly, please.
And a match which is, it makes you drool, really, the prospect of this match. The world #1 against the former world #1.
15 love.
And that's not a bad start. Agassi's been in black the whole week. Now he's in white. Is that in respect to Roger Federer? I don't know.
I think it's been because he played all his other matches at night, and now he's playing in daytime.
It was camouflage, in other words. Gosh, if it's all like that, Peter, we're going to see hitting of incredible quality.
Yeah, and that's why Roger Federer is able to give so many players, but even Andre Agassi, a difficult time, because he can withstand the bombardment, really, of potential winners from the American.
Game, Federer.
And give it back with interest. I mean, what a scintillating first game, actually. Terrific hitting.
But yeah, and that's the thing. Against any other player, apart from possibly Leighton Hewitt, Agassi probably would have hit 3 or 4 winners in that game. But Federer was able just to block them back, chip them back, give Agassi no pace, put the ball into a spot that Agassi didn't really have a clean shot at hitting a winner, and eventually made the error. That is why Roger Federer is atop the heap.
And so Andre Agassi has the crowd with him, as always. And that'll be a help. There's a difference. Federer started with an ace, Agassi with a double fault.
Yeah, and that's odd. Andre Agassi's second serve, normally very reliable. And perhaps the reason for it is the sun. Let's see if in this deuce court, Agassi is bothered by the sun consistently at this hour.
30.
It's not.
Formerly, of course, coach to Leighton Hewitt. Snapped up by Agassi. Fabulous hitting, really incredibly accurate.
This is just incredible hitting. This man can do no wrong so far.
Just as you said it. It's the first error he's made, isn't it?
Well, that's good. It's nice to see that he hasn't reached perfection yet.
Bombers coming to the aid of Agassi. Game point.
Game Agassi.
Well, Agassi needed that. That's a good fillip for him.
One game.
33 years old, playing 22 years old. Six foot one, plays 5'11". He makes everything look so smooth. I mean, he doesn't appear to hit hard, and yet it's all rhythm.
A very underrated serve on Federer. He can fire the ball down at 130 miles an hour. He just chooses not to do it very often.
Beautiful serving. Such a lovely, cool rhythm to it. No breaks of serve. 2-1 Federer. This tournament here in Indian Wells, it's just grown and grown over the years. It's beautifully directed by the tournament director is Charlie Passerell, who played, I wonder if you saw that epic match against Pancho Gonzalez at Wimbledon.
I wasn't even born, Billy.
Well, you're not. Oh, golly, you missed a... Look at that sky.
Thank you.
You missed a fantastic match. Pancho Gonzalez kept going at the love 40 on serve, you know, and you knew he was not going to drop his serve. And Pancho Gonzalez walking like a gunslinger. Very, very slowly. No breaks. 1-2.
Left. 6-6.